Hey everybody, welcome back to the program. Now, when I do research for my making of videos like I did for animals, I often come across a lot of really interesting factoids that don't ultimately make it into my final video, either because of time constraints or they take away from the overall narrative I'm trying to convey. So I thought, why not collect all these fun facts, put them into one video, and present them to you, since many of these were new even to me, especially the last three. You're gonna get a kick out of these, so stay to the end. All right, without further ado, here are my top 10 facts about Pink Floyd's Animals you may not know. Number 10. Animals was first heard by journalists and critics at a press conference held at Battersea Power Station. No members of Pink Floyd were there, only their manager, and he instructed the audience to not take any notes during playback. However, at least one attendee secretly recorded the album so that he could listen back at his leisure when writing his review. Number 9. We don't know the official release date of Animals. During my research, I found some sources state the 21st, while others state that it came out on the 23rd, coinciding with the first date of the tour. It could be the case that both dates are true because there could have been some delay in distribution, or maybe a coordinated release date was not as important back then. But since the 23rd fell on a Sunday, my guess is the 21st is more correct since it was a Friday. Number 8. Throughout the Animals tour, the encore generally consisted of Money followed by Us and Them, although they didn't always play these songs. Sometimes the show ended with Money, or they decided not to play an encore at all. However, for the encore on May 9th in Oakland, California, something special happened. After they played Money and Us and Them, they ended the concert with the song Careful with That Axe Eugene. It was the last time the band ever played that song live. Number 7. In select French record stores, Animals was sold out of a very fitting pig-shaped display case that could hold up to 100 records. Buying one today will cost you around $800, but good luck finding one, as they are extremely rare and seldom come up for auction. To be honest, I would kill for one of those. I don't know where I'd put it, but man, how cool would that be? Just flipping through your records in a pig-shaped Animals display case. Number 6. Even though Algie, the pig from the front cover, wasn't used on the tour, it did make an appearance in New York City as part of a promotion put on by WNEW Radio. The event was a promotion to sell advance tickets for the upcoming shows at Madison Square Garden and was held in Central Park. Number 5. Their June 19th concert at Soldier Field eventually led to a federal grand jury investigation of the promoters. They claimed they sold 67,000 tickets, but when Pink Floyd paid for an aerial photo of the stadium, it was revealed there were closer to 95,000 fans in attendance. Eventually, in 1980, 3 individuals were indicted on 12 counts of federal mail fraud and wire fraud. Number 4. Artist Gerald Scarfe created a few films for the Animals tour based on the music of Wish You Were Here, but he also sketched out a few animation ideas based on the music of Animals. However, none of them made it beyond the storyboard phase. No one seems to remember why Gerald didn't show them to the band, but looking at them for the first time years later, Roger surmised that even if he had seen them back then, the imagery would have been too disturbing for him at the time. Number 3. The Animals tour was their first branded tour, meaning that it was the first time Pink Floyd consciously went out on the road to promote a specific album. And I think it's kind of amazing they didn't do this before, but I guess maybe it wasn't as important or they hadn't thought of it before. But when you think about it, it really makes sense since these guys were pioneers in the field of live shows. And so much of what they developed became standard moving forward. And I think we kind of take that for granted now that that's part of record promotion. But back then, Pink Floyd, they didn't need to do that. They were that big of a band in the mid-70s, in the 70s, that they could just go tour, record an album, and then, record another album and then go out on tour. Number 2. Animals was the first and last album to be fully recorded at their own recording studio, Britannia Row. Only parts of The Wall, A Momentary Lapse of Reason, Division Bell, and The Endless River were recorded there. Nick Mason eventually took full ownership of the studio before selling it sometime in the early 90s. It then moved out of its original location in 1995 before finally closing in 2015. The original location building was set to be converted into residential lofts in 2016, but that project seems to have stalled. As of 2020, the sign for Britannia Row is still affixed to the building, although it's seen better days. Number 1. The Peek from the Animals tour was not the first time Pink Floyd used inflatables during a concert. A giant inflatable octopus made an appearance during Pink Floyd's headlining gig at the Garden Party in May of 1971. It was made by Event Structure Research Group, the same team that designed the pig on the cover. Then in November of 1973 at the Rainbow Theater, a large white balloon was suspended over the band representing the moon. 2 years later, in 1975, Jonathan Park and Mark Fisher designed and constructed a 60-foot tall inflatable pyramid. During its second appearance on June 20th in Pittsburgh, a gust of wind knocked the pyramid loose and it floated out of the stadium. It drifted into the parking lot where it bounced between lampposts and cars. It was supposedly seized upon by about 200 rabid fans who tore it to pieces and inhaled the helium. Man, I would have loved to have been at that show. All right, everyone, that will do it for today. Let me know what you think of my list. Were any of these new to you? Which ones did you already know? And which ones did I miss? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Until then, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I especially want to thank my members over on Patreon. I am your Vinyl Geek, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Everyone, thanks again for watching this video. If you want to see more, I got a Pink Floyd playlist right there, as well as a video that YouTube will choose for me, and a link to my Patreon if you want to help support this channel even more.